actually saw the designs, I was like, wow, I have to do this.
As if its stunning special effects weren't enough, The Phantom Menace boasts a galaxy of majestic costumes that impress even the Jedi Knights.
I just think the grey costumes. I think Ewan looks fantastic in his.
You look good in yours.
What do I look?
You look fantastic.
Yep, I think that looks good.
Writer-director George Lucas proclaims that this prequel has the most elaborate wardrobe of any film in his motion picture career, topping even his original epic.
On the first films, costumes were designed not to draw attention to themselves. In the new film, the costumes do draw attention to themselves. They have to, because they're in a more sophisticated society. And to do that and keep it timeless is much more difficult. So this is red, and then this is red.
To create this cosmic couture, Lucas enlisted the aid of renowned costume designer Tricia Bigger, who assembled 50 of Hollywood's finest wardrobe artists to assist her.
When I first started in the film, we were going to have 3 costumes for the Queen. And as time went on, George decided that every time we saw the Queen, that she was going to have a different costume.
No, Your Highness.
There's so many changes for me because a queen can't wear the same outfit twice.
She travels, she goes to the Senate, and each one of those demanded a different type of costume.
And Portman's sci-fi frocks were only the beginning. The costume department labored for nearly a year to create dozens of dazzling designs, inspired by the ancient cultures of Europe, Asia, and Africa.
The look of the costumes like taps into all these various cultures that we all subliminally recognize, you know? It's very clever. You still have much to learn, my young apprentice.
And while Jedi robes may seem relatively plain, Ewan McGregor insists they're a perfect fit.
It was extraordinary to stand in front of the mirror with all my wardrobe on and stuff. Because I was Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, and it was quite a moment for a young man.
As the duo battles the dark side, they encounter an interstellar cast of thousands. Producer Rick McCallum told me each has its own distinct look.
You can't go to a wardrobe shop and rent costumes for this kind of movie. That was so apparent to us from the very beginning. What wasn't apparent to us was how many costumes we'd have to build. It ended up being about 1,100.
We've done 2 versions of this armor in different types of quilting.
To do individual costumes and do them in the thousands is a very, very difficult task. But I did want the military to have several different kinds of outfits, that the officers were different than the enlisted men, that the pilots were different than the troopers.
I will sign no treaty, Senator.
But among the alien hordes, Portman is the film's most stunning vision. She even appreciates the heavy headpieces.
It's good for, like, the effect of the film. As long as it doesn't, like, give me brain damage or anything, I'm all for it.
Step into the world of Star Wars Episode 1, and what becomes clear is both a sense of wonder and a feeling of deja vu.
George's tales, the Star Wars tales, have really tapped into a psyche in the world that popular culture has never done before.
Set 30 years before the original Star Wars, The Phantom Menace centers on Luke Skywalker's father, Anakin, played by child actor Jake Lloyd.
He's been a slave in his entire life on Tatooine, and now he has to leave his mom. She's been the only person that's there for him for his entire life.
I'm playing the mother of Anakin.
I ever see you again?
What does it hurt to tell you? She's very strong in a way because she really do believe in him and that he's going to take the responsibility of his own life. So I think she's very brave in a way to let him go.
Anakin does leave and meets some wild new characters. One of the new faces he meets is sure to become an audience favorite, the computer-animated Jar Jar Binks, voiced by newcomer Ahmad Best.
There's never been a real comic character in any of the Star Wars movies, like just outright comic. The character of Jar Jar, he was banished from his world because he was clumsy. Jar Jar is going to be a character that everybody can relate to, especially the kids who feel like they don't fit in.
Will not condone a course of action that will lead us to war.
I think that playing the Queen would be inspiring, you know, to young girls.
As Queen Amidala of Naboo, Natalie Portman defends her planet against a galactic trade federation, and that inspired her to play a very powerful queen.
She really tries to do the best for her people. So I think it's a role model really for everyone, and it would be good for young girls to see a woman or girl leading.
But whether it's new characters or just younger versions of old favorites, the inhabitants of that galaxy far, far away are feeling the full force.
To walk onto a set and to be at that higher, watching it happen, looking around at all the people there, and the costumes, the enormity of the situation. I would really love to, you know, be in Star Wars, and it was the truth. And sometimes, you know, things that you want can happen. And this is one of those kind of dream come true kind of.
These films are incredibly well made, but also it's tapping into a void that we have as human beings, that we have kind of lost something. We have lost an oral tradition of storytelling, of myths and legend.
I'm doing a movie called Eye of the Beholder. It's directed by Stephen Elliott, and oh, wait a minute, wrong junket. Star Wars.
Oh, right, Star Wars.
That's the one.
Right, that's the one.
Yeah.
We haven't much time.
As if anyone could forget, it sure wouldn't be Ewan McGregor. In perhaps the most highly anticipated film of all time, he's playing Obi-Wan Kenobi, the legendary character originated by Alec Guinness.
What's the best part of having been cast to play Obi-Wan Kenobi?
The idea of being in it in the first place, you know, and then to be on set in Jedi gear and with R2-D2 and stuff. I mean, every day there was a Star Wars moment where you went, bloody hell, you said to yourself, I'm in Star Wars.
Even his first trip to the props department was a magical experience.
We walked down there, and then there was R2-D2, and I was screaming. I realized I'd go, ah! Like that, because it was R2-D2. I mean, it was like meeting the Queen or something.
And it was there that Ewan carefully selected his trusty lightsaber.
I remember it as being a big wooden box with 2 padlocks on it, which he unlocked. And they said, are you ready? And I said, yeah, ready. And he opened it up. There was like 9 or 10 different lightsaber handles. It was like going to buy a Ferrari and choosing which model you want, you know? Having the money in your pockets, you don't care about the money.
George Lucas made sure his Jedi Knights never ran out of their space-age weapons.
But there was one lightsaber maker who had this mobile lightsaber making unit thing, right, that wheeled about with all these poles and stuff. And he just made lightsabers, because as you're fighting, they get bent, and you have to have a constant supply of fresh lightsabers, you know?
And this Star Warrior worked overtime to make his battles look natural.
You can't be thinking about what comes next. When you're doing a fight like that, you can't think, well, I did that, so then he's coming over there, so you do that. You can't, you've got to just you're so connected with your opponent that you're just flowing, it's flowing. I hate myself for saying this. It's the nearest thing to the Force that you could imagine, was that.
Now, Ewan, the actor, is sure to become a force to be reckoned with himself. He's even starring on the cover of the next TV Guide.
Are you in any way prepared to deal with what may happen now as the floodgates open?
I plan to carry on doing the same, you know, doing my work. And I can't prepare myself for that which I don't know.
Nor could he prepare himself for the sight of his very first action figure.
I still can't quite believe it's there, so I'm still in kind of denial about the whole thing. They're much more sophisticated than the ones I played with, aren't they?
Yes, more joints, more movement now. Yeah, mechanical.
What I would suggest to everyone watching your show is that they buy this one. When you go to the shop and you're buying toys, Star Wars toys, buy this one. Or anything else that looks like me.